What's up, guys? Thanks for coming back to the channel and checking out today's video. Today we're going to talk all about our footwork and how we can swing more inside out and create more compression with our iron. Stop chunking it, hitting the ground first. Before we go any further, I do think this video is going to help mid to lower level handicaps the most from the perspective of really understanding how all these concepts play together. But even if you're a beginner, I still think you want to hang out and at least try what I'm about to say, because it should help get a lot of good things done in our swing. Okay, cool. So where I have this camera right now, it's sort of at this 45-degree angle. So if you know about filming golf swings, you might know that we sometimes film down the line, which would sort of be right here down the target line, or also sometimes face on or caddy view, where you would see me kind of square to my chest here. I have the camera roll to 45 because I think we want to appreciate how it's happening from sort of both angles. And this is the easiest way of doing it for now with one camera. So with that being said, and this is where I kind of spend the majority of my time in lessons anyway, standing right there at that 45. It gives me appreciation for kind of everything that's happening in the swing. So that's where you're looking at me right now. And then in my lessons, I'll either branch one way or the other to kind of dig deeper into these concepts, depending on what I'm looking at. But this is a concept that we're going to appreciate from both angles. So not wasting any more time there. The first thing I definitely want all of us to do is finish our turn in the backswing. I finish our shift and turn in the backswing. So I'm a right-handed golfer. My trail foot will be my right foot. We want to shift into the trail foot. That's the first thing we want to do with our feet. Now, I'm actually kind of skipping steps here. Let me apologize and kind of work my way back a little bit. Let's assume we're in full swings here. So we're going to shift around, right, in the interest of creating more speed. The first thing I like is I want us to be kind of ready to move over the ball. Now, everyone's different. You have your own unique movement profile and style. Some of us are twitchier than others, right? Some of us are more deliberate and smoother with our movement. So I want it to be what you do most naturally. I don't want you to force yourself to do something unnatural, but what we don't want is you dead still over the ball, especially with the lower half, and I guess the hands as well. A little bit of a waggle is what I prefer to see. Now, I almost look at this as like a trigger move, right? So the first thing we're going to do when we're getting ready to work into the backswing is you're actually going to lean a tiny bit of pressure into the left side. When we look at these like force plates and pressure mats and all that good stuff, we see the world's best players are actually like 60 or 55% in their lead side right before the club comes back. And then the first move in the backswing is some sort of pressure shift into the trail side there. And I think the harder you want to hit it, the more you're going to shift into that trail side. Now, once you've made that shift into the trail side, we're going to start to turn. So it's a shift, turn sequence. Shout out to Dr. Kwan. If you don't check out Dr. Kwan golf stuff on YouTube, that's a search you want to do for yourself. The shift turn video is the most popular one. It's phenomenal. Now, we're going to shift into the trail side, then we're going to turn. As we turn, the pressure is going to trace some sort of maybe the ball or the middle of this right foot, trail foot, towards the heel. And that'll happen as I change flex with my knees there, right? So you can maybe see a little bit of that space from this angle in between my knees. The majority of my pressure is in the trail heel with the tiniest bit countered into the left ball or toe, right? That lead foot there. Now, once we've kind of coiled up and made the shift into the trail heel, here's the big tip for the day, right? What we're going to start by doing is getting a pretty good pressure shift from trail heel to lead toe, right? Now what that does is as I rotate, my pressure kind of arcs back into this heel here, and then as I shift it into the toe, I'm showing you with the club because that essentially works me on this inside out angle, right? So this pressure shift helps the club fall in line more with this inside out angle. It helps us shift laterally before we start to turn, because I might argue this early turn before the shifting is a big cause why people swing so outside in, certainly an open club face as well, right? And it also allows us to push this pressure forward nice and early, which gets the low point forward, right? So that negative attack angle that helps us create ball first contact and compression with our irons. Now, that is a very important move, but it's important to know what to do after that. So once I've pressured into that lead side, trail heel into lead toe, I'm going to push off the toe, start to straighten that lead knee back. That's what helps turn my lead hip back and out of the way to kind of finish that rotation through the shot. And there's some obviously vertical extension, ground force reactions in there as well. Okay, so to recap, we're going to make a nice full turn into the right heel. We're going to coast into that trail toe and then push off to finish from there. One thing I'm going to show you just from a pure face-on view here, as I make this big shift into the trail side and turn, this lead knee, probably to a certain extent, barring injury, should angle or turn the tiniest bit inside this lead foot. So then as I start to shift into the lead toe, the feeling I like to use is that knee is going to start to coast over the ball and toe of the foot. And once you got your knee over your toe, boom, you're in a great position to start pushing vertically to kind of use that rotation and vertical force for power. All right, so get into the trail heel, shift into that lead toe, and then push off from there. Good things will happen, hopefully, fingers crossed. I'm here in the comments section if you have any questions. Liking and subscribing would be huge. I appreciate that, and I will see you next time.